What's going on? Welcome again to SPNLineups featuring Philly D and Steve the Fantasy Assassin. Last year, we won a combined 5 NFL GPPs. Check us out on Twitter at SPNLineups for all the latest updates, news, and injuries. Today, we're talking NHL, and for a limited time at the end of the show, we're giving away a free GPP tournament lineup for DraftKings and CryptoFantasySports.com, which is the site we'll be using today. The salaries are the same. We like using the site because there's more overlay, lower fees, and some scoring bonuses like power play points and plus and minus. You can sign up using the links below for exclusive bonuses. Steve, how's it going, buddy?
Going great. How about you, man?
I am fantastic. Thanks for asking. Why don't you kick us off today?
All right. Let's get started with who you wanted in your lineup last night. We start off with Jacob Markstrom, the goalie for the Canucks. He posted 30 saves, and he actually got a 6-0 shutout of the Dallas Stars, which kind of threw me for a loop, but, crazy things happen in hockey sometimes. And speaking of that, also from the Canucks, Reed Boucher, who, you ask? Well, he scored his first 2 goals of the season, but he did have 7 shots on goal, so maybe a name to keep note of. Heading over to the Flyers, Sean Couturier, a name I'm sure you've heard of. He had his 17th multi-point game of the season, so it was 3 points on 1 goal and 2 assists last night, but he's having quite the season. He's starting to really make a name for himself. Over at the Bruins, their blue liner Torrey Krug, he chipped in with 2 goals as the Bruins beat the Devils 5-3. Both those teams came with some goals one day after I wanted them to, but them's the breaks sometimes. And over in Buffalo, Ryan O'Reilly provided the main offensive spark with Jack Eichel out, and he got a goal and 2 assists, but the Sabres still lost to the Avs 5-4. What do you got for me, Philly?
No back-to-backs tonight, since there's only a 3-game slate, which I love. I love the small slates. Less room for error in my opinion. Tampa Bay, Arizona, playing tomorrow, though. So make sure you double check for the goalies. Make sure they're starting. Toronto versus Tampa Bay would be the premier matchup of the night. I expect a lot of ownership for both teams who are boasting offensive powerhouse stats this season. Tampa Bay first in the league. Toronto 5th in the league. You know everybody's going to be all over it. Chicago heads to Arizona, but aren't really clicking this season. And on the 29th best power play in the league. So, like, 3rd worst for people who need explaining. But it would seem like everybody tonight is in play. And I expect some high ownership from the Toronto and Tampa Bay game. And I think we got to target it a little bit. What do you think, Steve?
I think that's a great way to go. And these are the guys that don't even need a good matchup tonight because they're hot. So we saw the hold on one second here. We got Connor McDavid, Edmonton, 7 goals and 10 points in his last 5 games. We got his line mate Leon Draisaitl, 8 points in his last 5 games. Mitch Marner from Toronto. He has 7 points in his last 5, but he did have a 5-point game last time out. Alex Killorn from Tampa Bay, he's still value priced $4,400, which is crazy, even though he's got 8 points in his last 5. And he plays for that powerhouse Tampa Bay. Take note. Another one of his teammates, Yanni Gourde, he also wants to join the 8 points in the last 5 party too. Keith Yandel from Florida, 5 points in his last 4 games. And Kevin Connaughton from Arizona, 3 goals and 4 points in his last 5 games for the Coyotes. and he's got a wicked cheap price tag, $3,000. Speaking of that, what about some value picks there, Philly?
Absolutely. The value pick's been killing it lately. We're going to start it off at center with Clayton Keller, 4,900 Arizona. Center, Derek Steppen, 4,900 Arizona. Center, Alex Killorn, 4,400 for Tampa Bay, as Steve mentioned. Another center, Ryan Strome, 3,200 for the Oilers. Left wing, we got Mike Camilleri, 3,800 Oilers. Right wing, we got Connor Brown, 3,600 for the Maple Leafs. Defense, Chris Russell, $4,000 Oilers. We got left wing, Mike Camilleri, which I already said. So let's go down to the defense. Alex Goligoski, 3,600 Arizona. Defense, Kevin Connaughton, Steve mentioned, $3,000 Arizona. And at goalie, we got Antti Ranta, 7,100 Arizona. Steve, how you like them picks?
Those are pretty great.
All right, so as promised, for a limited time, guys, we're giving away a free tournament GPP. Now, you can sign up for a free 7-day trial to our email blast, and we send out lineups every single day. Hit us up, SPNLineups@gmail.com, and build up that bankroll. All right, Steve, let's hear that lineup.
Well, first off, I want to start by saying yesterday's lineup that we sent out to our subscribers, the GPP cashed and the head-to-head cash, so you should have been on it. But anyways, if you weren't, we got you covered today, no problem. So we're going to start off by just paying up for goalies. We want Andrei Vasilevsky. I know we just talked about how Toronto's got some offensive firepower, but there's only 6 goalies in play tonight, and I'm just going to take the best one. If you are a little hard up for money, I would not be opposed to taking Antti Ranta, but the way that we got our lineup today, we can afford Vasilevsky, so we're going to take him. Speaking of being able to afford somebody, I'm going to take Mr. Connor McDavid. Just pay up for the man and hope for the best. We got his line mate, Leon Draisaitl. Definitely want to put those two together tonight on the short slate. Same thing coming up here, going over to Tampa Bay. It's a pretty small slate for left wing tonight, so we're going to go with Yanni Gordon, ride the hot hand. Tampa seems to be clicking on all cylinders right now. But of course, you know, pretty much the best offensive player in the league this year, Nikita Kucherov. He's $7,700, but we're going to pay up today because there's some, you know, as Philly talked about before, we got some real good values today. So speaking of that, going to the defense, a couple guys Philly just talked about. We got Chris Russell from Edmonton. Very, very, very solid. And then Kevin Connaughton, who's been having a couple really good games lately. Getting a lot of ice time for Arizona. Very cheap at $3,000. So at this point, we don't really have a whole lot of money left, but Alex Killorn is $4,400, so we got to slot him in there. And then for the final spot, we're looking over at Toronto. Now normally, I don't like to take players that are going up against the goalie that I play, but on a slate like tonight, it's almost unavoidable. So we're going with Connor Brown for $3,400 to round out the lineup. And there you have it. That is the lineup tonight. So what do you think,
Steve.
Philly?
Oh, I love it, man. A lot of star power. We got value. We got stacks. We got a winner. Check us out. Crypto Fantasy Sports will be on the leaderboard, baby. Make sure to check out the Twitter for the updates, injuries, and news at SPN Lineups. Hit the like button you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel. Check out CryptoFantasySports.com. And all the links below, guys. Good luck. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good luck, everybody.